Welcome back to another episode of the Blue Hen Outdoors podcast. I am pleased to have one of the halves of Southern Addicts Outdoors with us. How are you doing tonight, Mr. Hayes?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. Let's start with how did you get your start into hunting?
Well, I started pretty young. I don't know, maybe 5 or 6, and I went on my first duck hunt. It was my uncle Jacques and his sons, which is my cousins, and it was like a little woody shoot, So I shot my first wood duck, and then we were lucky enough to have a bunch of groups of mallards come in, so I got to take a shot at one on the water. So killed my first wood duck and first mallard in the same hunt. So
There you go.
it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, wasn't too bad. That sounds like a good hunt to me.
Hmm.
So you guys are, I know Tanner, he said he's from Arkansas. You're from down in Louisiana, correct?
Yeah, I'm from South Louisiana. I hunt in Arkansas. We have some property up there.
So what would you say for the folks that kind of don't know what the waterfowl scene is like down there?
Uh, in Louisiana, I mean I would say it's kind of cutthroat, but they fighting over nothing. They really ain't nothing. I mean, you can shoot divers and wood ducks and that kind of stuff. But in Arkansas, that's a whole different ball game. In Arkansas, I mean, you got 150 trucks at a boat ramp if you hunt public land, and it's just like a whole destination, if you know what I'm talking about. And if you don't do things the right way, it ain't gonna be too fun for you.
Yeah.
The the locals really don't play around. If you mess with them, they'll mess with you.
Oh yeah, and that's no fun.
But see, look, I've made friends with the locals,
Hmm.
and I'm kind of in the circles, so I don't get messed with at all.
Right, so you know how things run around there.
Oh yeah, they put me on birds. I put them on birds. Same, I guess quid pro quo, you could say.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. What's your opinion on the whole public in Arkansas deal? Like, do you think that they're gonna change any? Like, I know that there's some big changes coming.
I don't think they're gonna change too much. They already tried to limit out of staters.
Mhm.
That didn't work out too well. They dropped it from you could hunt with WMA's 60 days, no restrictions, to then they dropped it to 30, and they chose your days for you. Like you could only
Yep.
go certain points of the year, and it was like the worst dates possible. Like during the weekdays and at bad parts of the season.
Right.
Now they did 30 days, and you can choose your own. So you buy 6 5-day passes, so you can
Oh,
hunt
they
5 day
haven't
stretches.
they haven't put it to draw yet.
No, I don't think they will. I think they'd lose too much money if they did that.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm. That's
Between
interesting.
WMA permits and license sales and economic stuff, I mean, out of staters put a lot of money into Arkansas.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's a
that's
fact there. I mean, Arkansas is a destination for waterfowl.
it's one of their biggest industries for tourism.
Oh yeah, for sure. So, how did you and Hayes start the Southern Addicts and get that going?
Well, Tanner and a
Or
friend of
Tanner,
his,
I'm sorry.
yeah, Tanner and a friend of his started it way back in 2018 as like a joke and like a competition with a bunch of other buddies. See who get the most followers. And me and Tanner became friends. I want to say in like 2021 or 2022, something like that. And we really became really good friends. And the other guy that was managing Southern Addicts with him, he went off to do his own thing. So I mean, he offered me a position because I lined him up with a bunch of sponsorships and that kind of stuff. So basically, I handle all like I'd call it like PR,
Mhm.
like I handle the business end because I do have a lot of business experience, and he handles mostly social media. So, like if anybody's doing networking or whatever, it's usually me or handling other people. You know,
Do you have a degree in that or anything that helps with you guys doing that?
I started a degree, but I didn't finish. I mean, it's not like you really need a degree to run a business anyway.
Yeah, no. If you know what you're doing and know how you're doing it and make the right connections, you'll. we'll pretty much be all right, you know.
Oh yeah, I was taught by some good minds, so I thank them for that.
Speaking of connections and sponsors, if you guys want to share, you don't have to if you don't want to. But what kind of sponsors do you guys have from doing Southern Addicts?
So Tanner's actually from BB, Arkansas, which is where Echo calls are made, and he's been going there for a long time. And we had a bunch of people reach out to us, and we were like, "Well, we'll try Echo and see if they'll." We thought we had got big enough, and we were like, "Well, let's try Echo," and because we'd rather them, we know them and things
Mm-hmm.
like that. And, we'd feel more comfortable being partnered with them. And then Duck Nuts, which is a guy I know out of Baton Rouge, he owns that company. And I called him in a outdoor store one day, and we had a conversation, and we talked about potential partnership opportunities, and he was all for it. And they make decoy rigs and bags, all that other good stuff. We have a lanyard sponsor out of Pennsylvania, by the name of Orange Creek, and
Mm-hmm.
one of our lifestyle wear sponsors is it's called Pine Time Performance. He's also out of Pennsylvania too.
Oh, cool.
Yes, sir.
So what's kind of the terrain you guys hunt more like? I mean, I know Arkansas's got the timber. There's a lot of flooded corn and rice out there. There's the river. So what's your guys' sweet spot, so to say, out there?
I'd say 95% of the time we're hunting flooded timber. You know,
Okay,
there's nothing more aesthetically pleasing in the waterfowl world. I would say that's just my humble opinion.
I
And
concur with that.
mallards coming through the trees, it's something different. You know,
Mhm.
uh, but I would say 95% of the time we're hunting flooded timber. And if not, we're usually hunting rice fields or whatever.
Mhm.
I mean, in Louisiana, it's kind of a different ball game. Sometimes I'll make some buddy hunts or something like that down there, and it's either on like a kind of like a open lake or marsh, something like that.
Okay,
Not too much flooded timber. I mean, the flooded timber up there is not really that great. I mean, down here is not really that great, but it's nice hunting different types of things.
yeah. I
Like,
was gonna say you guys usually get the gambit down there, just about everything, because it all comes down to.
oh yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. When I was younger, you know, in Louisiana, you could shoot anything. You could shoot your limited mallards, gray duck, all that good stuff. But now, I mean, you're left with the scraps. I mean, divers and teal and wood
Mhm.
ducks. That's about it. The ducks just don't come this far south anymore. And I have my opinions about it, but you know,
You can share your opinions. What are your opinions that you think are contributing to that?
well, I think it's you know, I, I don't want to sound like a tinfoil hat man, but but you can't tell me that there's not something to do with impoundments north of us that try to hold the birds.
Hmm.
There's a bunch of different factors. I mean, there's you know, the populations are down, and that kind of thing. It's just a bunch of different factors.
Yeah, I know. When I've talked to Tanner before. He said that there's like a bunch of brought in ducks from different, or I'd say he said what he said, like Eurasian ducks that they bring in, and they don't really migrate as much.
Yeah, there's a ever increasing amount of farm duck DNA in the mallard population.
That's
You
what it
know,
is. Yeah, they keep getting farm duck DNA.
yeah, and they're not programmed to migrate.
Mhm.
Like a wild duck is.
Nope.
It's just a bunch of different factors that
Yeah.
all culminate in ducks not coming this far south.
Hmm.
And I mean, on Arkansas public timber, I mean those ducks have got smart.
Yeah.
They know every hole that they land in, they're gonna get shot at. They're gonna get shot. So they tend to avoid the area, and go to where you can't shoot them.
Hmm.
Like Claypool Reservoir, Lake Ashball, people's private impoundments, things like that. And this is all for public land. Public land, private land's a different story. You can hold the birds. You can have a pressure management plan like we do.
Hmm.
You know, and you can plant whatever and hold them. You know, I mean, we do it to keep up. I don't personally believe in it, but I mean, you gotta you gotta do something to keep up with the game.
Yeah, you got to do what you can to keep yourself in the game, so to speak.
Yeah, you don't want to have this nice piece of property and have a nice pressure management system and not have any birds to manage.
Right.
Things like that. It's all about, I don't want to say farming ducks, but I don't know. Keep it keep.
The way my friend puts it and how he does it with his property up here is he has a sanctuary slash a resting place for the ducks from all the
Yes,
slick
yeah.
and
So we have a 16-acre rest area with
hmm
corn and rice and uh, millet, smart weed, all that
hmm
good stuff. And nobody's allowed to hunt within 200 yards, 250 yards of it. You know,
yeah.
and
Well,
then
up
so
here he plants it and then it's all got to be gone before the season happens. So he does his early to keep them and bring them in.
oh yeah, I mean, and after the season, we go out there and we dump corn. To imprint, keep them there. You can't shoot on them. Wink, wink.
Right.
Can't shoot over them. Wink, wink. But you got to find a way to keep them and know where your property is. And ingrain it in their brains to make it a pit stop on the way down.
Hmm.
And then hopefully they stay there.
Oh
But
yeah.
and then a lot of public land guys, they'll bash the private land guys for doing that. But I mean, if there wasn't any private impoundments or rest areas, there wouldn't be any ducks in the area. They
Oh,
hold all the ducks.
1,000%. All the unhunted areas that the ducks stop at around there is what they need. Because I mean, people have seen the videos and whatnot from Arkansas public. Like it's wild out there. At least from my point of view. I mean, you guys are in it,
Yeah, it's
so you
crazy.
guys can speak on it more than I can. I mean, seeing the video, but I mean, it all makes sense.
Yeah, between boat races and you know running holes and getting set up and finding them and not finding them and striking out and really hammering on them. I mean, it gets tough. Once you hit about day 30, I mean you're pretty worn out.
Mm.
You got to push through the next 30 to
Mm.
you know really
What's
feel fulfilled, I guess.
oh yeah, what would you say is your favorite species to go after?
Mallards all day.
Are you a mountain purist?
Definitely, definitely. Green heads, orange feet.
All that matters, man.
hmm And I mean, I've hunted long enough and done it all. So I mean, that's what I like to do. I like to challenge myself.
Hmm.
Keep it, keep it interesting.
Hmm. Is is the limit four or is it more down there for greenheads?
It's four.
Okay, it's the same
It
here. I was just
you
wondering.
can shoot four mallards, two hens at the max.
Yeah.
We try not to shoot hens. It happens every once in a while, you know. But I'd say it's like 80% greenheads, and
Hmm.
20% hens. We don't really mess with other ducks too much. Just depends on the time of the year and the situation. If we're in like a tough stretch and we haven't shot too many, we'll be like, oh yeah, let's shoot these gray ducks. So let's shoot these green wings that come in or something like that.
Hmm.
But for the most part, it's mallards.
Hmm. Do you guys hunt specs much down there or not really?
Whenever I used to hunt a lot of rice fields, we did. It's just a matter of finding a feed and trying to get as close to the feed as you
Mhm.
can. Without throwing them off the feed.
Yeah.
So the spec limit's only two, but
Yeah,
we used to shoot a bunch of them. Not as much anymore, but we used to bang on them. They're fun. I'd honestly at one point I was like I'd take goose hunting over duck hunting any day,
really, that's a hot
but
take.
not anymore. Not anymore. My mind changed a little bit back towards duck hunting.
Because they put the
But
limits back down. I mean, that's
yeah,
how it is up here. I mean, our because we don't get specs much. If we do, it's rare. But up here, they keep flexing the Canada Goose and the Brant limit to like 1 and 2. I'm like, the populations are way over that. Like, we should at least do two or more.
oh dude, I could probably hit five of them on my way to town
Yeah, it's
with my
ridiculous.
car. They become so localized now that
Hmm.
they don't move. You just shooting local birds at this point.
Hmm.
You try to catch them going from pond to pond.
Exactly. How was your guys? Do you guys have a decent snow goose season down there?
It wasn't as great as years past, but that should be a good thing.
Yeah,
You know, that's the point of the conservation
conservation,
order
right?
season. Since like 2019 or 2020, the populations took a nosedive. So that's what you want to see.
Mhm. I was just wondering because up here we didn't really have much. Well, we had a snow goose season like you guys do, but we didn't have nearly as many birds as we normally do. So that's pretty good.
I tell you, in Louisiana you can shoot them, but you got to go on the Mississippi River to shoot them.
Yeah.
Like the water will get super low like right after season. Not super low, but enough to where some of the sandbars poke out.
Mhm.
And you go out there, you set up a bunch of decoys, and you'll bang on them.
Do do you do much fishing down there in the Gulf in Louisiana?
We do all the time. We probably make 5 or 6 trips out there every summer,
What?
and
How's the? How'd you say that fishery is?
that's pretty good. That's better than most. Redfish and speckled trout, red snapper. If you go about 120 miles offshore, you get mahi and tuna. But I mostly like to stay inshore, catch redfish.
Mhm.
Y'all ain't got no redfish up there, huh?
We we do kind of like more south and towards the a little more southern Maryland and northern Virginia because we're on the tail end of their migratory route.
I got you. Yeah,
Yeah.
you catch them here year round, but there's a season for them, obviously.
Mhm.
But you catch a lot of them.
Oh yeah, that's the one thing I kind of is on my to do list this year is catch a redfish.
Oh
I've never
yeah.
caught them before.
We usually just use like those plastic shrimp
Hmm.
dipped in the whatever smell stuff that is that you could buy at the store. You just go out there with a Zebco 33 and that go out there and certain fish you can fish off the boat. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not hard to find them. They're in water that's literally about waist deep, and you wear polarized sunglasses, you can see the bottom.
Hmm.
I mean, all you gotta do is dangle that shrimp in front of their face, and they'll come after it.
Hmm.
Now speckled trout are a little different. They like motion. They like chasing.
That's like that's kind of like up here. It's striper and bluefish is like the equivalent of your guys' redfish and speckled trout.
I ain't never ate that. I'm sure it'd be good.
Pe- People say up here. I mean, striper is amazing, but people say bluefish is a trash fish. But you just got, in my opinion, you just gotta bleed them as soon as you get them and throw them on ice, and they're just as good as any fish.
Hey, you talking to a guy from Louisiana? You know we eat anything.
Don't I know that, man?
We eat 7 foot goldfish.
That's one thing I don't know how how you guys eat gar like I
Oh, I tell you what. You gotta soak them before you do anything with it.
really.
So you soak them and you grind it up, and then you marinate it, and I'd say like 6 to 24 hours. It's all on you. And then you grind them up, put them with a bunch of spices and onions and all that kind of shit, and Then you dip them in flour, you fry them, and then after that you take them out. You make your roux.
Hmm.
You make your roux, and you cook them in something called a fricassee, which it's kind of like, I don't know if you ever heard of crawfish etouffee. It's kind of like that,
Yeah,
but kind of like that, but no tomatoes. It's more of like a stew, thicker.
my bad. My gimbal was having a mind of its own.
It was having an episode.
Yeah, it's having a mind of its own, doing its own thing. There we go. That's a little better.
But I mean, we eat a bunch of trash fish.
Well, ain't no fish trash fish. It's just trash cooks.
Mm-hmm. So hey, you can make anything taste good if you know how to cook it.
Hmm.
Ain't nothing a bunch of Tony Sacheries and marinade can't do.
That's right. Shit. Oh, son of a bitch. I'm back. Sorry, technical difficulties.
It's all good.
So you guys have mentioned Echo. Do you guys see any other big opportunities coming from doing Southern Addicts?
Um, we've really talked to a bunch of big names, and we've got a couple invites to go, film at some pretty incredible places and stuff like that. I think we've been in contact with a few boat companies, and maybe if we get to 20,000, 25,000, maybe they'll give us a look or something
Mhm.
like that. I don't care who it is, free boat is free boat.
Hey, I hear you there.
I mean, Havoc doesn't do any partnerships unless you're like super big, but
Hmm.
um, that's very select few people. And so I'm like, I mean, it could eventually be a goal one day, but that's always been my favorite brand. Ever since they came out, I've always liked the look of them. You
Hmm.
know, and they perform really well. They're very tough.
Oh yeah, I,
I
I
think.
like a good Havoc boat. I like them, and then I forget the name of the one boat, but a guy up here he uses them for sea duck and sea duck and diver duck hunts in the bays and oceans in Ocean City, Maryland.
You talking about like duck water boats?
Yeah, I think it's duckwater boats.
Yeah. I don't know if you know who Pit Boss
Yeah,
is.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Jeff, yep, Jeff Coates.
Yeah. Old Jeff. Yeah, he has a 30 something foot duck water.
Yeah, that's the name of it. I was thinking of duckwater. Yeah, those are nice boats too.
Yeah, they don't make anything small enough that I could use.
Yeah, no, 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 no. I mean, not for down there, but like like where I'm at up here, I would love something like that because I could do the bay, I could do surf ducks, I could do something small enough I could put in the marsh if I'm lucky.
Oh yeah.
The edge of the marsh.
Oh yeah. I couldn't imagine putting a 27-foot boat through the trees in Arkansas. That'd be pretty. That'd be a rough one.
Uh, that'd be something.
Yeah, it'd be a sight to see. I'd probably get stuck, but
I probably would too, but whoever could do it, shit, give him a gold star.
I mean, definitely, that'd be a rough one. I'd probably
Hmm.
lodge myself in between two cypress trees.
Hmm. So Arkansas being a good big duck place, have you guys had any like collaborate big cool collaborations with anybody?
Not yet. I mean, some are in the works. We've been talking back and forth, and hopefully it'll come to fruition this season. I don't want to release any names yet
I was just
because
gonna say you don't have to if you don't want to, but that's
I
cool.
mean, whenever they're set in stone, I'll release them. But
Hmm.
you know, I don't know. I don't want to release them just yet. But it's some pretty good opportunities for sure. I ain't gonna complain about them. That's for sure. But I mean, hopefully we get a bunch of ducks to film and catch a bunch of cool stuff on camera. That's
Oh
more
yeah.
what I'm worried about. I mean, I've shot plenty of ducks in my life. I mean, I'm okay with putting the gun down and holding the camera.
Hmm.
I mean, it's no issue for me, honestly. I've always liked doing it. I probably need to get a better lens, but I think what I have for now will suffice for a little bit. But if I really get into like professional photography or something like that, I'm gonna have to get a bigger lens. But it's not about the camera; it's about the photographer. You know.
Right. I was gonna say that's that's cool that you guys are kind of more like into the photography and film aspect of everything. You don't really see too like, granted, people are into that with like the social media and stuff, and like with like my page and how you guys do your pages, but you guys don't really see people more like for the love of the photography or film of it. They're just trying to get their production, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, they try to get through the algorithm the best way possible. I mean, we
Right.
do a little bit of that, but it's mostly just photography and videography and stuff like that. I mean, we do memes and stupid little comedy stuff, but other than that, it's mostly strictly business. I mean,
Hmm.
we haven't put together any like big YouTube videos or nothing like that yet, but
In
I'd
the
like to build
works.
more. Yeah, I'd like to get a lot more footage before I do that.
Hmm.
Great, and I've kind of been lackadaisical about it. I've kind of just been like, oh well, I'll shoot into the first group and then I'll pick up the camera. It turns in you're halfway through the hunt, you realize you ain't picked up the camera once. There's stuff, stuff like that. But I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I need to make it a habit.
Mhm. Do you guys have any ambitions to chase in the, what is it, 41, 43, something like that?
What you mean 43?
The species, like all the species in the country.
I
Well,
would
I mean,
love to.
I know they all come to Louisiana and Arkansas basically, but I know there's a couple that y'all can't get.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind doing it. I'd love to do it, but like I can't do it right now. I just don't have the time to. You know,
Yeah.
I have a bunch of other things to take care of in my life, so I would love to do it at some point. I should be able to do it in my life,
Hmm.
but like kind of do it slowly, not all at
All in
one
one
time.
shot. Yeah.
But like definitely next like big trip I'm planning is I want to go to Alaska and shoot all the eiders and sea ducks up
Okay.
there,
That's cool.
like harlequin and king eider, speckled eider,
That's
that kind of
cool.
stuff.
You gonna
We
go up
I,
to like the Barren Sea or something?
yeah, something like that. Wherever I can find a good guide,
Hmm.
take me out there and do it. Because I mean, I'd get lost doing it myself. You know, actually, we have shot a surf scoter, or no,
Really?
it was a black scoter.
Oh.
We shot it all on a oxbow lake off the Mississippi.
Hmm.
He was flying with a bunch of redheads.
He must have been confused.
Oh yeah, that's what I said. I seen the orange on his bill, and I was like, well, that don't look like a duck we've ever shot before. I thought it was like a black duck or something at first, you know.
Yeah.
'Cause I kind of caught a glimpse of him, and uh, we go over there, and it's like, what the hell is this? So we look in the. So I have a waterfowl identification book,
Hmm.
and so we kept flipping through. I was like, he's got to be some kind of diver, sea duck, because I ain't never seen that thing before. I flipped to
Hmm.
it. It was a surf scoter and black scoter. I was like, well, yeah, this is a black scoter, but it was crazy. One
Yes.
time we were hunting in Arkansas, and we don't normally get black ducks in
Yeah.
the Mississippi Flyway.
Oh yeah.
We were,
They're
we were in
usually
Arkansas.
out here kind of deal.
Oh yeah, it was like -3 in Arkansas in the timber, and and I mean, I'm telling you, it was just bone chilling cold. And I mean, we limited out pretty early in the day,
Mhm.
but like the first group that lit into the hole, it was a group of redhead. It was a pair of redhead drakes, and I shot them both in one shot. I had never seen a redhead in Arkansas or in the Arkansas timber before. Like there's some guys that have hunted in Arkansas 50 years, they ain't never seen one, you know. And I was lucky. And then like 30 minutes later, a lone black duck comes in, and I folded him. Nobody was paying attention. I just dropped the little window on the blind and then folded him. I got back. I was like, I don't know what that was. It might be like a model duck or something, you know, because we sometimes get model ducks.
Right, because
You
I know they
know?
come over from Florida sometimes.
Oh yeah, and we went up there. It was black. I was like, oh shit, this is a black duck. I guess I got three ducks to mount today.
I was gonna say you better mind that black duck because that's a rarity down there. We get 'em- I mean, they're up here like all the time, but those are my favorite ducks, the black ducks.
Oh yeah, we mostly in the Mississippi Flyway. It's all puddle ducks, and a few divers. You know, we get canvasbacks, and I don't know what y'all call them, but we call them degree. It's I can't. It's some kind of scalp. I can't tell. I can't remember if it's a greater scalp.
Oh, the scup, yeah, bluebill.
Yeah, the greater scalp, not the bluebill, because bluebills is lesser, I think.
Okay.
So we get bluebill, degree, and canvasback,
Not
and ringneck. Ringneck.
yeah, ringnecks.
Yeah, and
I was
that's
I was gonna say that you're on that list. What's the list of them ducks that you guys do down there?
what that we shoot in Louisiana.
No, in like the French and that you were saying like the Dogri or the.
Oh, oh, I can name a few. Okay, so mallard is already a French name,
Hmm.
right? So in Cajun French, it's canard français, and then wood duck is branchu, which means wood,
Hmm.
and pintail is paillon queue. It's three words, and let's see, speckled belly goose is oikaye, um, teal is saucelle, and there's another one I'm forgetting. Gray duck, which is gadwall, is a what is it? Oh, it's like a cheval or something.
Okay.
And then the spoonbill is a zan. It's a bunch of weird little names.
Uh, I just think that's cool. How you guys have them different names for that stuff down there? It's just interesting to me. It's cool, especially that whole Cajun culture that you guys have down there.
Oh yeah, my grandfather spoke fluent Cajun French. I know a good bit, but like my grandfather, if he spoke English, he was so hard to understand. It was like broken English, kind of,
Yeah.
because he was that first generation of whenever they got into like high school and middle school, they outlawed the speaking of French in Louisiana schools, which I don't know why they did that, but like they'd powder you if you spoke French in school.
Really.
So the culture kind of started dying. That they stopped
Hmm.
speaking the language. But I mean, there's a bunch of people that keep it alive. I mean, there's some parts of the state that you can go somewhere and order in French and somebody know what you're talking about. But for the most part, I mean, it's very few people that actually still speak fluent French, fluent Cajun French, and then a lot of those try to keep the culture alive.
Hmm.
But everything else about the culture has pretty much stayed alive. Cuisine, music, that kind of thing.
Hmm.
But we love to cook and party and drink and dance.
That's what it's all about, man.
Yeah, that's pretty much our culture wrapped up into one.
I can
One little-
get down with that.
oh yeah, it's a different place
Oh,
here. It's definitely a different style of different. It's a change of pace for most people.
oh yeah.
Because I mean, if you go to the south, you know,
Hmm.
most of these people, The Southerners are very slow paced, slow at doing everything. They ain't got a care in the world. Louisianians are fast paced. We talk fast. We get things done. You know,
Hmm.
they ain't nothing slow about us. You know,
I mean, look when y'all had Coach O, man.
Funny thing is, I always understood what he was talking about. I never misheard him or nothing.
Oh, same, man. I was like, yep, yep, and everybody around me was like, how do you understand what he's saying? I'm like, listen, dude. Growing up how I did, you meet some characters and you learn how people talk weird.
Hmm. Yeah, you should see Tanner. That man, he talks weird to me. Well, I mean, at least you don't have a problem understanding what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, both of y'all. I mean, I can get a grasp on what you guys are saying. Now, if you guys were going a little fast or a little excited with it, I'd be like, huh?
You're lucky because I'm talking slow for you.
But I mean, I probably sound a little funny to you guys too. So,
And you really don't have an accent, bro.
see, yeah, that's what I hear about being a Delaware man, and we don't really have a
Yeah, it's
much
like
here.
it's like super flat. All my buddies in Arkansas, they sound like this. They talk a little slow and elongated. I talk too fast for them. Most of them can't understand what I'm saying half the time.
It's a good balance.
Yeah, sometimes I gotta dumb it down for them. I get too excited, and then I'll start speaking real fast, and I and I start like it's not really a speech impediment. You know, I kind of stumble a little bit. It's not a speech impediment or anything. It's I get stuck for like a millisecond, and then I pick it right back up.
There you go.
But that only happens whenever I'm excited. And I start talking fast. I mean, I could talk really fast if you want me to, but I don't think you'd understand me.
No, probably not. Back on track a little bit here. What would you say is one of the wildest things you've seen in the Arkansas public woods? I know there's probably a couple.
So there's this hole called Tiffany Hole. We were hunting public land with a bunch of buddies, and yeah, I'm sure you know who Maggie Williams is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Um,
you remember when she
well, I don't
said
know her, but I've heard of her. Yeah.
they got shot in the hole?
Yeah, yeah,
So we were there that same day, and then the next day we actually won that hole,
yeah.
and and I think we raced like 10 guys for it, and we so the guy that is our hole runner on public land when the water's down, because you got to run it if the water's low. Uh, he literally runs in Cookie Monster pajamas, pajama pants, and like tennis shoes. And these guys are in full waders and everything, and they just looking at him like he's dumb. And then they figure out real quick he I think he was a state track champion in Arkansas. You know,
Yeah.
he got some long strides. I'll tell you that. He ain't never lost the hole for us.
There
And
you go.
so we went that hole. We all bring our pistols because of what happened the day before,
Uh-huh.
and we have the same thing happen. The other guys that were set up 70 yards from us and peppering us, and then we had this guy named Dustin, and he's big old boy. He's like 6'5", 370. You know, pretty stout. He's a Arkansas boy. He good old
Yeah,
boy.
don't mess with him.
No, so he gets over there and he yells at him, "Hey, y'all quit shooting over here, man!" And then, they acted like he would, he wasn't nothing, And then he got up out the water and they seen how big he was and they started apologizing real quick. And then they apparently had a fight on the road, wherever we all park to
Uh-huh.
get off and go to the hole. And it's like it was a super viral video. And it was like,
Yeah.
"You're worthless, Kyle. You're the most hated duck hunter in Arkansas." It was so funny. But I mean, you that goes back to the cutthroat thing. Arkansas, I'd say, is pretty cutthroat.
Yeah. I mean,
You don't.
actually, I was gonna touch on that a little bit. Like, since you brought it up that Maggie got shot at and you guys were there, it's like we're all there to have fun. Like, there's no reason to be peppering people or doing any of that bullshit. You know?
Oh yeah, I mean, ain't no reason for it. I mean, if you get beat, you get beat, fair and square. Go find another hole, you
Right.
know. And we're the type of people as long as you're not an asshole to us, we'll we'll invite you. I mean, we'll let you come hunt with us, you know.
Right. That's how a lot of people up here are. As long as you're not an asshole, so if you beat somebody at the spot, they'll let you come hunt with them for the most part.
Yeah, we'll flag them down, and be like, hey, come hunt with us. I mean, if you ain't got a hole in mind, you know.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, all right, we have a pretty productive hunt. We make new friends, that kind of thing. But
Hmm.
as long as you're respectful, everybody will be respectful to you. You know, that's kind of the thing. I mean, it's a lot of competition. Don't get me wrong, but as long as you're respectful, you
Yeah.
know, nothing will happen. Nobody's gonna cut your brake lines on your truck or smash your windows or nothing like that, unless you
Hmm.
really are a douche nozzle,
Oh yeah.
But other than that, I mean, he's set. Now in Louisiana, that's a different story. It's not as cutthroat, but you got a lot more people who don't care.
Hmm.
They'll try to run you out of the blind and stuff like that. And I always keep my side piece for protection.
Hmm.
And I got the game warden's number on in my contacts. So
There you go.
if
As long
that,
as as long as you're friends with them too. Hey, that's all that matters.
mm-hmm. Said I get your registration numbers. Don't think I
Yes.
won't. I get your registration numbers. I say, hey, I'm having a problem with hunter harassment. It's this guy. This is his registration numbers, and he'll be out there at the ramp before we're done. Yeah.
Damn.
hmm It's a pretty nice little thing.
Oh
Have
yeah.
the game warden in your phone. He'll always come help you out. I mean, and
Oh
we
yeah.
we don't partake in any hunter harassment, but
Hmm.
I
Well,
tell you a
we
funny.
had that happen to us this year.
Oh yeah, funny story. Some dude they set up 80 yards behind us in a blind. This is in Louisiana. They
Uh-huh.
set up 80 yards behind us, not even, and a blind that had no brush. Yeah, I could see the whites on their faces, you know. And I will say every time we go to this lake, we walk out with the most birds. I have fun with it. And so we had pretty much almost killed our limit, and we had the last two we needed for the limit, for our greenhead limit, our mallard limit. And they circled our blind three four times. They're about to give it up. This is the last pass, and then they somehow make a shot, over our fucking decoys. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say the F word. I don't know if that's
You're fine.
they make a shot over our decoys, and they somehow drop one of our birds, that were literally about to come in the decoy spread. That got me mad. So,
Oh, I would have been over there and made a ruckus.
oh yeah, I mean we shot. You might have to delete this out of the recording, but we did fire in their direction, and when we shot our last two, we kind of rode through the edge of their decoys, just to let them know.
Hmm.
Because I mean, if you mess with me, I'm gonna mess with you back. You
Right.
know, I'm not gonna go down without a fight.
Right.
It wasn't.
And it gets to a point where it's like you say something and then they keep doing it. And it's like, all right.
Yeah, one time I give you that. One time is okay. You know.
Hmm.
Now if you keep doing it or just like disregard what I say, nah.
Yeah.
I don't mess with that too much.
Right.
You know. And then everybody's always in shock. Oh, look at these guys. They walked out with the most birds again. You know. We're first at the ramp. A. B. Y'all don't even know what the best blind on the lake is.
Uh-huh.
And C. None of y'all can call or set a decoy spread. Right? They got 52 mojos over there, and the ducks know that the mojo.
Mojo.
They know what a mojo is when they get this far, when they get to
Yeah.
Louisiana. That's dumb. Unless you're just trying to shoot teal, you know, the ducks don't pay them no attention, and we're in a blind with the most brush, and we have a boat blind too with top cover, and they can't see us. And sometimes what I'll do is, if we're just having fun, we shot a bunch of ducks already, whatever. I'll let the group circle the blind, one of the other blinds on the lake, and I'll be like, "Hey guys, watch this," and I hit a lick, and they'll come right back to me. I'll shoot them right over my decoys. Fun, you just have fun with it.
Yeah.
And sometimes they'll try to call them right back off of you, and then you call them right back to you. I mean, I'm more like the guy. It's like if I'm not shooting them, ain't nobody shooting them because I'm gonna hell call them because I'm not gonna hell call them, but I'm gonna call them off of you. And if you keep trying to call them back, I mean, they just gonna nobody's gonna shoot them.
Right. They should keep circling around, circling around, circling around until they
Mhm.
buzz out.
So I mean, they'll literally be going, whoop to my blind, but back to there, back to there, back to mine, and and they rarely do that. Once they see that I'm not gonna let up, they'll just give up.
Back off, yeah.
hmm And then I'll shoot them right over my decoys.
Hmm.
And I mean, the lake. It's like sunken land. It's almost like a sinkhole, but it's not. It's just like a little divot. The water's maybe
It's a
four
puddle.
4 foot deep. Yeah, it's a puddle, but it's a pretty big puddle. But I
Hmm.
mean, you can see all the other blinds on the lake
Yeah.
too. And so it's where the Mississippi River, the Red River, and the Atchafalaya River meet, and it's
Okay.
on that NWR. And there's a lot of people that go to it, but most of them, I hate to generalize here, but the majority of Louisiana duck hunters are not good. They're garbage. Let's just be honest here. At least in Arkansas, they give you a competition. You know,
Yeah.
they make it, they make it a they make it a challenge. Now Louisiana hunting, that's a different story. They they're really not that good. They're not that hard to call birds off of them, and beat them to a hole and stuff like that. But I mean, everybody asks me how I do it when I walk out with the most birds every time. I said I cannot reveal my secrets at this time
Right. Magician never reveals his secrets. You just gotta
because
come with you.
if you hunting here, I know you're gonna be back.
Hmm. You can't tell them how you do
I'm gonna have to Terry Bradshaw and blindfold them.
it. Speaking of, how is that lost down there with that community, with the waterfowl community of Phil?
But Phil, well, Phil's a Louisiana legend. We're all sad by it, and he's most of the young generation's role model when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to waterfowl hunting. You know, I mean, the young generation gets a bad rap, and there are plenty of bad apples, but that starts at home. You know,
Mm-hmm.
but I'd say the best role model probably for our generation was Phil Robertson and Willie and all them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's pretty tough, I guess, for them,
Yeah.
for the Robertson family and people of West Monroe and that kind of deal. But I don't know if you knew this, but the new Duck Dynasty is airing Sunday.
Yep. I did know that. Yep. Yep.
I don't know if they put them in any episodes or not, but
I hope they did at least one or two for the first couple.
yeah, I know they seriously diminished his role, but I think it's more focused on Willie's family
Mm-hmm.
than I know Sal will be in it. You
Yeah.
know, I don't know if Jace and Jep and all of them will be in there,
Mm.
but I would hope. I would hope.
Yeah.
But I would say it's more focused around Willie's daughters, and sons, and grandchildren. You know,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I guess they had to have a new patriarch of the
I
family.
guess. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I would never watch Duck Dynasty if Cy Robertson is not in it.
Fact there. That is a fact.
Oh yeah, that's a non-negotiable for me.
Hmm. So as we get ready to wrap up here, I ask everybody this question: what would you say is your why? Like, what is your drive for hunting? Like, if you could explain it to somebody, say, "This is why I go do it all the time."
Oh yeah, you gonna make me think on this one.
I stump everybody with that question, man. It's a good one. I like asking it to people because I like hearing
You
everybody's
talking about
response.
you talking about like why I hunt or like why I do what like why I do this page or
Like why you hunt, like why you like why like what's your
well it's one of the most principle driven things. It really teaches you a lot of hard work, integrity, honesty, you know that kind of thing, respect, a lot of respect.
hmm
And my grandpa and my uncle, they did it and they were kind of role models for me. I just kind of wanted to be like them, be pretty upstanding men. You know, that's pretty much why I do it. Principles and I mean friendship, principles, respect, honesty, and hard work, integrity. That's probably why I do it. It's not about killing the most ducks. It's not about all that. It's about the memories you make along the way and stuff like that. You know,
hmm
um, just learning to love the outdoors and be close to Jesus said as Phil Robertson would say.
hmm
He was probably a big role model for me too.
Oh,
Yeah.
he was a huge one for me. Especially, I mean, granted, I'm not in like your guys' area, and like as he probably wasn't as big of a star up here, but he was still big enough in the hunting community up here, you know.
Oh yeah, he's world renowned.
And everybody would always follow those principles that he laid out: faith, family, find the freedoms.
He was I don't know, the perfect man of God, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, that's the best way to put it. He lived the simplest life he could and did what he could.
Yeah, he's very wise,
Hmm.
very wise. But I tell you what, when an old man tells you something, you better listen.
That is true. Because no wiser or truer words will ever be spoken.
hmm They've experienced it. They know how it is.
Hmm.
But
Well, before we get out of here, man, you guys got any shameless plugs you want to throw out to the people?
what shameless what?
Plugs, like any like ads you want to put out there for the people?
What, like ads or like funny stories or?
No, like ads, like your socials and stuff like that.
Oh no, I ain't got nothing. I ain't got nothing hilarious. But uh, well, we do have one that follows us. His name is Cooter Lake Hunting Club.
Oh yeah, I'm talking to them too. They're pretty cool guys.
Oh yeah, they're cool. I don't know. I'd have to think about that one, but I know we have some pretty funny ones that do follow us. They make dumb names, and every time you see one that follows you, you just got to go check it out and laugh. But that's what it's about being humorous.
Mhm.
You know.
Having fun while we do it.
Yes, sir.
That's what it's all about. Well, that's a good note to end on. Thank you guys for listening and tuning in, and thank you, Mr. Hayes, for your guys' time from Southern Addicts tonight. I appreciate
No, no problem at all. No problem at all. I was honored to be a guest.
it. Thank you. I will have all his uh for Southern Addicts Instagram, and you guys do TikTok as well, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'll have all that tagged in the description when it all gets posted. And thank you guys again for tuning in this week.
All right. Thank you.